Welcome back to the Roundabout podcast, where we'll be talking about Diamond is Unbreakable, aka Diamond is Not Crash. As always, I'm your host, Evan.
I'm Josue.
I'm Jose.
Now, part 4 is by far the most popular part in America, especially with our main JoJo, Josuke Hikashikatada.
I mean, it's the one that people were asking for constantly after part 3 ended.
Oh yeah, because people like Josuke in part 4 in general.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't know is Joseph had an affair.
Yeah.
That's where Josuke came from.
Yep.
So, Joseph, during one of his trips to Japan, kind of slept around with a Japanese woman.
Yep, a young college student.
And out popped Josuke a few years later. Now, part 4 takes place 10 years after the events of part 3. And we start off with Jotaro, 10 years older and is starting to wear white now.
Yep, and he meets the most important character of part 4, Koichi.
Oh, yeah.
A little boy who will never grow up.
Yep, he's a good 5-6 inches.
He is very short
A
compared to
little
everybody.
boy who's into some very special kinks.
Hey, look, his kinks are his own thing.
Yeah, man, you can't go around kink shaming people. I know we're gonna be kink shaming the main villain in this episode, but we're not kink shaming Koichi.
yeah.
Oh.
So Jotaro's there. Jotaro's in the town of Morio for 2 reasons: to tell Josuke about Joseph, and to find a serial killer that escaped prison, thanks to the help of some guy with some blonde guy with big hair,
Yeah.
Totally.
and who also happens to live in the town of Morio. So Jotaro meets Josuke, and I'd say kind of hit it off.
Yeah, I mean, Jotaro definitely hit Josuke.
Pretty much.
Like, you don't mess with his hair, you don't mess with his hat, and you don't mess with Josuke's hair. That's the one rule.
Talk shit about my hair and you'll see a different side of me. A side that'll make you feel pain like never before. So what was that about my hair looking like a motley toupee?
You don't fall.
Man, it's polar opposites.
So for like the first quarter, we're following the bow and arrow,
Yeah.
because it's
Yep.
constantly getting stolen by practically everybody.
First, it's in the hands of the... God, I forgot what the
brothers?
brother... It's
The
a brother.
Kitamura brothers.
There you go. I couldn't think of the last name.
The one who's been shooting arrows at everybody, and his brother Okuyasu, the
Yeah.
best boy.
Yeah, it's with a extremely strong stand, but too stupid to actually use it.
It's a mini Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, it
But
is.
he's real stupid, so he can't use it right. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they're shooting bows and arrows at everybody is to kill their father, who was working with Dio. And, well, you work with Dio, you kind of get screwed over.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's a green blob now.
The one thing I never understood about that is Josuke's ability is to revert things to how they were before. I don't know why they just didn't have Josuke revert the father back to how he was before.
That is a good question.
That is a good question, but I imagine that
Plot.
Plot or Dio, I blame Dio. Even though he's dead, he's still haunting. He's haunting you after his death.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so Josuke's stand is Crazy Diamond, or Shining Diamond in America, which I kind of prefer Shining Diamond.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
shiny.
like it.
Shine bright like a diamond.
No. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Get it right, man.
Damn. You know, the one thing I like part 4 is how it's a huge murder mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just a long episode of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're called the Morio Gang. This is basically the Scooby-Doo gang. The
Without the mystery machine.
No, they might have a mystery machine somewhere. But the bow and arrow gets stolen by some jerk named Akira.
Yep, with my favorite stand name, which is Red Hot Chili Pepper.
Really, Red Hot
Yep.
Chili Peppers.
Yeah, because that's my favorite band.
The Frieza-looking electric type
Chicken.
chicken.
Yes.
That is correct.
Really, I never would have taken that. Yeah.
That's just my favorite name, not my
And-
favorite stand.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
well, that's the
okay,
first
well,
thing I
the
noticed.
name does sound cool, admittingly.
Yeah.
And after Akira is defeated, we get a little bit of a break. We get like mini episodes featuring other stand users in the town of Morio.
We start making friends. Our
Yeah.
first one being our Italian friend. What's his name?
Torjada. It's
Was it?
Torini. It started with a T.
It started with the
Tortellini.
T.
Tortellini and his stand Pearl Jam.
And he's like the first red herring stand user you're gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is genuinely a nice guy. He just wants to give you good food.
Yeah. His food makes you. Yeah, it gives you really weird side effects, but
Yeah.
it heals you of all your ailments.
Constipation, tiredness, you name it, he's got a cure for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny how the episode rolled out when I watched it.
You were expecting him to be a villain?
Yeah, I was fully expecting it. But then the part where Josuke entered in the bathroom and he saw him, and not the bathroom, the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen.
And he saw him there. It looked like he was about to kill him. But in reality, he was asking why he wasn't washing his hands.
Because he's that nice of a guy.
Oh my god.
And that's like the thing that differentiates part 4, because like all the stand users, well, most of them aren't evil. They're just kind of out doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
you got the owner of the lock. He's just wanting to export money from Koichi's family.
Yeah, and then Koichi fucking puts him in his place.
Yep.
oh, yeah.
And becomes a slave.
That was just out of fear, man.
Oh, that's out
Oh,
of fear. Nothing else, man.
Yeah, who put him there?
Oh, Koichi.
Yeah.
Like, look, Koichi's a nice boy.
Koichi's
And-
the strongest stand user in part 4.
yeah, and because he gets, like, part 4 introduces new types of stands, colony stands, with Bad Company,
Yeah.
and which is a mini G.I. Joe army,
Mm-hmm.
and Harvest. A
Yeah.
stand that's really, I would say decently useful.
I'd say it's super useful because you could just say, okay, I'm looking for cash, and it'll find cash on the floor around the town.
Yeah.
You don't even need to be like that close to it.
Yeah, but in terms of a fight, I don't think it would. I mean, it's good for stealing stuff, but in terms of a fight, not much.
I feel like if Shigechi was smarter, it would work out better, but
I mean, Shigechi's a pretty dumb boy, and that's estimated by how he gets killed.
yeah.
Yep.
And he's one of the only 2 main characters that get killed,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll be going over who exactly kills him. But after the little mini adventures with all the stand users we see, we get a huge revelation from a ghost girl named Remy,
To Koichi and Rohan.
who
We didn't even bring up Rohan.
Rohan, the manga boy.
well,
Yeah.
Rohan's like part of. We see Rohan is an asshole.
No, yeah.
He's an asshole.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
He's an elitist asshole. He believes he's better than everybody, and his stand, Heaven's Door, is like arguably one of the strongest because it can make you do whatever he wants you to do just by
Yeah.
writing in your face.
Yeah, and
Oh,
especially
yeah.
after like it evolves a little bit more. Because at first you had to read the little manga scan.
And then it evolves to like an actual small little stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rohan hates Josuke for multiple reasons.
For existing, for one.
Well, for existing.
Yeah.
And also for burning down his house later.
That was not Josuke's fault.
Oh, it was Josuke's fault.
Hashtag not his fault.
But she reveals to Rohan and Koichi that there's a serial killer that's been killing everybody for years. And they have to find this serial killer, who, halfway through the series, is revealed to be a man named
David Bowie.
Yoshikage Kira, who has the hugest resemblance to David Bowie. And that's no coincidence, even Araki admits that himself.
Ooh.
And he does this with his stand Killer Queen.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
I love Killer Queen so much.
Which by far is my favorite stand of all time because of how simple yet effective it is. It has one main ability: blow stuff up.
Yes.
Yep, anything it touches is a bomb.
And Blackheart. What about Blackheart?
Oh, like that's sheer heart attack just blows you up. Like all of his abilities are offshoots of blowing you up.
Mm-hmm.
First bomb is just it touches you and he pushes the trigger, you blow up.
Yep.
Second is sheer heart attack, which is a little tank that follows the hottest object and blows up.
The hotter it is, bigger the explosion too.
Yeah. And the third is bites the dust.
Ah, yes.
The perfect ability to hide his identity. Because that's the one thing Kira wants. He wants to live a quiet life.
Yeah.
But then this Scooby-Doo gang over here keeps interrupting everything.
Those meddling kids.
Those meddling kids and their damn stands.
Yeah. And so, Kira's been doing this for years. He's been murdering people and women, anybody who would know his identity, he just murders.
Basically.
He has a huge fetish for hands, women's hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's very much demonstrated when you see jump cuts of him alone with his hand.
He has a picnic with one of his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
goes
touches food in what was it, the bakery?
In the bakery, he
Yeah.
makes out with it.
God. Kira
No,
was
he
gross,
actually
but he was such a good
gra-
villain.
Part 4, the
Well,
kink
actually, this is
shame.
oh my god. Oh, let's not mention Yandere.
Koichi's soon-to-be wife,
Yeah.
who basically kidnaps him.
Oh yeah.
She just kidnaps him.
Those two parts were pretty funny.
Yeah.
At least for me, especially the second part at the end, where Koichi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Koichi. He passes a test with flying colors, and he's there just baffled whether or not he should be happy about it.
And later on, he goes like, "Oh wait, I am into that."
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man. That was during Cinderella, right?
That was during Cinderella.
that was.
Oh, wait, I'm actually into her. Oh damn.
Oh damn.
Okay, but do you think that was the Cinderella's effects, or do you think he was actually into it?
I
Yeah, I think he was into it.
Yeah,
I think-
I genuinely think so.
I think he didn't know it, but then when he saw her, he was like, "Oh wait, that was kind of hot."
It's a small man with big fetishes.
Speaking of kink shaming, let's kink shame Kira.
Let's keep going with Kira.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, we
then.
ought to kink shame Kira.
Yeah.
So it's not long before they figure out who Kira is, and Kira, the bastard, takes someone else's identity halfway through the series, takes their identity and impersonates father, and so now Kira takes this guy's identity and is living with his wife and his son.
The
Hayato.
son's suspicious.
Oh, the son's suspicious. The son's got cameras everywhere, and
Ooh.
one of the first things he says is that Dad never loved Mom like that.
Oh my god.
That's the
Wow.
thing that makes him suspicious. Huh?
Yeah.
Very suspicious.
And Hayato is the whole reason why Kira gets caught.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Bites the Dust. Let's see, without that kid, the Part 4 gang would have lost.
Yeah, for sure.
Mario would have been ruined. But truly the greatest hero of Part 4 is the ambulance.
Yep.
The
Jose
ambulance
doesn't
was
know
the
about
one that
ambulance
killed
yet.
him. Look,
Ooh.
Kira and the ambulance. Truly, Kira's mortal enemy.
Mm-hmm.
He stares that ambulance down.
just a frightening stare.
Yeah, yeah, and he gets his neck snapped by it.
Yeah. Poor Jose. He didn't know.
And when he sees it, oh boy,
Yeah.
Well, I'll find out soon enough. I'm almost there.
it's kind of gruesome.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, I
And-
like gruesome.
And plus, Part 4, like, even after it was done, it gets a lot of, like, spin-offs, especially with Rohan. Like,
Well-
Are there spin-offs?
yeah, there's
Yeah.
spin-offs of Part 4. You got, especially with Rohan. Rohan has his own, he had his own manga series called Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe, where it's just events in Morio or places he goes to.
Mm-hmm.
And the most famous, Rohan goes to Gucci.
Yep.
Where
Gucci gang.
where Rohan, I kid you not, goes to some Gucci place in Italy to get rid of a bag that's haunted.
Oh my god.
Like, and the guy working at Gucci is like, "So what's the problem?" And Rohan's like, "Okay, I put expensive stuff in this bag. It's gone." And the clerk's like, "Well, that happens.
It happens.
It
Can't do
happens,
nothing
man.
about it.
You don't know the true power of this Gucci bag." put $60 in, yeah, it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Don't worry. And
Wink.
and plus, even Kira gets a spin-off.
Yeah.
With Dead Man's Questions. So, Kira goes to hell.
I wonder why.
Oh yeah,
Gee
well, for
whiz.
murdering everybody, but he doesn't live the quiet life he wants, because even if he went to hell, it would at least be a quiet life. But nah, in Dead Man's Questions, he's constantly asking, what I don't know my identity. My name's Yoshikage Kira, but why do I have this urge of something?
Oh my.
Like, he wants something, but he doesn't know, so he's just... Oh, he's a ghost. Just going around the town of Morio helping people, but he has no memory. So it's his eternal hell.
Yo.
Basically, it's his eternal hell for killing people, so now he has to help them.
Oh, it's fitting, and plus he never gets a satisfying end. That's the best up part. You ain't gonna live a quiet life, Kira.
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
Look, he murdered like a bunch of women.
He kind of deserved it.
You know, he deserved it big time.
Especially with his hand fetish.
Yeah.
We kink shame here. Well, we kink shame villains, I should
Yeah,
say.
only villains.
Only villains. But, so, getting into part 4 in the early days of the internet was really difficult.
Yep, thanks to the Duang scans.
And that's not us joking. They are called the Duang scans. So, a little bit of backstory. These scans were translated by a high school student for a school project. And I don't know if he failed or not. But he translated them poorly. Like, directly from Japanese to English. It's poorly translated. And it's a beautiful sight to behold. Like, if you could play some examples.
Of course.
What a beautiful duet. There must be no other place as pretty as this town. This feels like a picnic.
True.
And personally, the It's a Beautiful Duang Chu
That's
is the best one.
That's a goodie.
Because nobody who translated that went, maybe there's something wrong here.
I think my favorite is the I feel you deeply. I feel that feeling you're feeling deeply.
God.
It kind of
This-
sounds like the Mr. Krabs thing, where it's like, that smell. Smell.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Part 4 is just SpongeBob.
It makes sense, man. All the characters are there.
Oh my god, and sub.
Look, the Duang scans are terrible, but they're so beautiful to
Yeah.
behold.
It's the kind of thing where it's so bad it's good.
Oh yeah. I want an anime version of
Oh.
the Duang scans.
Oh my god.
I want it right now.
I need it, man. I need it.
We all need it.
Oh yeah. So the part 4 cast. This is pretty much the last time you're gonna see him, except for Koichi.
Yep, he's the most important one. I
He's
told you.
He's the most important. He shows up for part 5.
Yeah, he gets his own spin-off. Koichi goes to Italy.
Joy.
And that spin-off was so good, they decided to make part 5 in Italy.
Oh wow.
But
A lot of people don't know that.
But nobody else showed up. No Josuke, no Okuyasu, especially Okuyasu, the poor boy. The poor boy.
It's fine.
Yeah, well, it's nice seeing the part 4 cast, but I'm kind of sad that you don't see more of them.
They were all really fun.
Yeah, they're like my favorite right next to the part 5 gang.
Ah, yes. Part 5, the best.
Ooh, I wonder what things I'll experience in part 5
Oh, that's next time.
next time.
But like, what are your final thoughts on part 4?
I think part 4 is a lot of fun. It was like the first part that I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this because I'm curious of what happens next. And I was glad I did because it was lots of good stuff.
So far, part 4, I'm really enjoying this whole murder mystery vibe I'm getting. Like you get in the beginning, you're here just wondering, well, who could the killer be, and then you're getting glimpses of who the murderer is before going on to the later episodes where you the viewer actually know who it is, but the main characters don't. So it's just like it's so obvious he's so modest yet he looks very suspicious in the actions that he does.
And that's the whole point of Kira. He's supposed to blend in.
Yeah, you would never suspect them.
Well, next time, look for David Bowie. I never trusted him.
Dang, that Bowie.
He was just under too much pressure.
Next, we gotta look for the guy who looks like the Queen. We need to look for Queen, guys.
Queen.
We need to look for Mercury.
Totally.
Well, I never trust his mustache or his pants. But for me, part 4 is a lot of fun. It's definitely a step up from part 3, with the cast just being great on their own, and the stands being more complex, like with Josuke being a standard heel type, like
Except he can't heal himself.
which is super important and cool, because if Josuke gets killed, then everybody's screwed.
Basically.
He can't heal himself. So if he gets punctured, like anywhere, then he's done.
Done for Gonzo Zippo.
Even like Okuyasu occasionally uses his stand in rather strategic ways, which I enjoy. That will be the end of part 4. Next time, we'll be talking about part 5 of JoJo, aka Vento Arreo, or Golden Wind. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Arrivederci.